Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about WandaVision episode 7 that came out this past Friday. So let's just jump into it here. So this episode generally, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's a little bit of a dip from the previous few episodes. Maybe it's just that those were so high, but I don't know. This episode kind of feels like a checklist as to things that they needed to do. For me, I don't know. It feels like they were like, okay, well, we need to have an episode that's kind of Office, Modern Family-esque. Also, we need to have an episode where Monica gets her powers. And we need to reveal that Agnes is behind the whole thing. So let's just put that all into one episode. But I do hope that means that the next couple episodes have been really thought out and are going to be better than this one. But, again, alright episode. Let's start talking about Vision and Darcy. So Vision and Darcy, interesting pairing, but I think they work really well together. Both, we don't really get a resolution at the end of the episode. It doesn't they do it in a way that it doesn't feel unsatisfying, but it is when you think back to it, you think, okay, well, where's Vision at? What's he gonna do next episode? And that's a big question of what he's gonna do when he figures out what's going on next. Darcy, I think she was funny, but I mean, she didn't do a whole lot. She hasn't done a whole lot in this series, and yet, strangely, I feel like she's necessary. I don't know how they did that, but they did. Okay. Monica. So Monica gets her powers in this episode in the way that we all knew since last episode, I think, is when they dropped the explanation as to how. Maybe it was the episode before that. But basically, I don't know. I mean, they did it. That scene itself where she gets her powers is good, but she doesn't really use her powers that much. Like, I think she uses it to deflect one of Wanda's attacks once. And then like her eyes glow a few times, and that's about it. They don't really make use of it. It feels more like they're just setting up for her using it in future episodes, which they only have 2 of, so they have a lot to cram into the last 2, which is a worry that a lot of people have, but personally I think they can pull it off, especially since it's streaming. These episodes could be an hour long each. We don't really know. But let's get into the meat of this. Let's talk about Agatha, because it was Agatha all along, as the song, which was very Munsters inspired, kind of explains. And there are a lot of people have been saying that maybe episode 8 will be, instead of an episode of WandaVision, it'll be an episode of Agatha all along, which maybe not, we'll have to see. But this was something that that everybody kind of saw coming. If you're a comic fan, like if you've been keeping up with it and keeping up with theories, you knew this was probably happening, unless you thought that it was like a red herring. You at least thought that this was on the table, that she was actually Agatha Harkness from the comics, or a version of her. With that being said, I highly doubt that she is the end-all be-all villain of the series. I think that this is somewhat of a misdirect, because Agatha was the easiest, most obvious explanation as to what was going on. There's this character Agnes that's in all of the episodes. She could be Agatha Harkness, and she could be behind all of it. But with all of the witchiness going on with her, a lot of people have been saying, and I agree with this, that it's most likely that it's going to be revealed next episode that her husband Ralph is actually Mephisto or something like that. But let's do a little bit of theorizing as to what could be going on with her plan and all of that. So first of all, let's talk about Quicksilver, because Quicksilver has been really confusing these past few episodes. So when he first showed up, I was initially like, okay, this guy, it seems like whoever's behind it, which I guess Agatha, plucked Quicksilver from the Fox universe and put him into WandaVision as kind of a guest star to distract Wanda and whatnot. But then last episode, when Wanda sees Quicksilver as he really is, like she does with Vision earlier, she sees bullet holes in Vision or in Quicksilver. So it seems, so unless I don't know, I haven't been keeping up with Fox. Maybe he also got shot a bunch of times, but that seems like it's almost like they brought the MCU Quicksilver back to life and just put his face on there. But now this episode, it looks like Agnes is just controlling Quicksilver, and Quicksilver doesn't even really show up throughout this episode. We just see him in the mid-credit scene, where it seems like he is in on it, which was kind of expected in a way, because, last episode he did say, your dead husband can't die twice, which he seems to be playing along, in that he knows what's going on. But it seemed like it was in a way that pretty much all the characters were playing along with it as well, and we'll get back to that in a second. But now it seems like he's full-on in league, or at the very least being controlled by to be in league with Agatha and whoever's going on. A lot of people are saying that maybe even Ralph, Agatha's husband, is actually like a big bad like Mordo or Nightmare, or the big one is Mephisto, and that he's actually shapeshifted into Quicksilver. I doubt that, but it could be that Mephisto is controlling Quicksilver and kind of acting through him or something like that, because, we do see Agatha controlling Quicksilver's body, so I don't think it's quite that yet, but I am leaning more towards it's Quicksilver from the Fox universe, but it could be something else. Something else interesting to talk about is that in the commercial for this episode, we get a commercial for something called Nexus, which it's one of the more blatant commercials that we've had. But the Nexus in the comics is an interdimensional kind of related object. It's kind of hard to explain. If you look it up, you'll see like the details of it. But that does point to the idea that it is a multiversal story, rather than just maybe opening up the multiverse right at the end or something like that. But we will have to wait and see on that. Now let's talk a little bit about what their goal could be, Agatha and whoever is in league with her. I think the main goal of them was to get Billy and Tommy. I think that was the main goal, and they did succeed, because Agatha finally revealed herself after she has already kidnapped the children in this episode, because Wanda was like, where are the kids? And they're gone. It's also worth noting that if it seems like there was a lot more effort in keeping up the facade of WandaVision in the bubble up until Billy and Tommy were born. Right after that, that's when like everything starts getting self-aware, and the seams start being more visible in the dimension. So I feel like after that, whatever's behind it was like, okay, well, as long as the kids are born now we just have to get them and we can conquer the world, or whatever they want to do. And if you remember back in episode 2, I want to say it was, it's for the children. I feel like that might be some kind of foreshadowing into that. But a lot of people have been saying, oh, he wants to steal Wanda's powers, or wants to do this with Vision. We don't really know, but I'd say I'm leaning towards them wanting to use Billy and Tommy for some kind of purpose. Also, the government guy, I can never remember his name. He's probably in on it somewhere as well. I think there's more to him than just wanting to use Vision as a weapon. Maybe he's Mephisto, maybe he's something, but there's a lot of speculation that could still be done. There's a lot to still tie up in these last couple of episodes. So let me know what you thought of WandaVision episode 7, and how much you're looking forward to episodes 8 and 9. Let me know all that stuff down in the comments section below. Let me know any theories you have. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.